So today I have a bit of a dilemma. I want to finish decorating this journal, but at the same time, I ordered and received these 3 die sets from the Rubber Buggy, and I want to play with these as well. Now, as of recording this, these sold out. They sold out pretty much as quick as they came in stock. So I did ask, and they are going to be getting some more of these in stock. I don't know how long it takes for them. I know that this is a popular die set, so I don't know how long it'll take for it to come back in stock. But as soon as they're back in stock, I will try to update the link below so that you will know when they're in stock. But I received my 3, and I've really wanted to play with them. So what I decided to do is, because the reason I got these is I thought they would be awesome in all of my journals. So I decided, since I wanted to decorate this one, why not use the leftover scraps that I have from this paper pack and these dies and create some pockets and different things for this journal. So now, if you missed the previous videos on this journal, this is my expandable page journal, and this one was created, I created last week, and this one has expandable pages, and there's different types. There's 3 different expandable pages in it, so if you would like to see how to create these pages, if you've missed that video, I will link below to those 2 videos. One video I show you how to create the pages, and then in the second video I show you how to add these pages to your journal. And so this journal does have 3 signatures, and each signature has an expandable page and then pretty much similar pages in it. I also have started decorating this journal, and I will show you what I've done so far. It's very simple things. I used the tags from a previous video as well that I had using these papers, and so I will link to that video as well, and I'll show you what I've done so far. So to get started though, I want to start playing with these dies. I do want to say welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a return subscriber or viewer, welcome back to my channel. So let's get started on using these. I have been playing with them just a little to see how they cut. They do wonderfully. So I first want to cut out some of these folders. So what I'm going to do is, since there's 3 signatures, all 3 signatures seem to have this, you know, we put the same papers, they seem to be the same, other than the expandable page is different in it. We have all the other same pages, and we're going to not totally decorate the same. You can see I've already started decorating. So each one had a file folder, each one had a paper bag and everything. So I'm going to make 3 of everything so that each signature gets similar item, but decorated a little bit different. So let's start with the file folder. So I want to find a sheet, and I've got one laying on top here I think that will work. I was just going to try to see what extra sheets I have left, or what sheets I've left over, so I can decide which ones I want to cut my pieces out of. So let's take this one and cut some file folders from it. So the correct position of this paper is like this, but it doesn't really matter with these file folders because I am going to turn them different ways. So this one, all of these die sets, let me show them to you just in case you haven't seen them. There are a lot of videos right now coming out that I've seen with these die sets in the new release. So you may have already seen these, but these have so many dies. Like this one has 49 dies, and you can make all these little things here, and there's so much you can do with these. It's not like these dies will make just one thing. You can use these dies to make so many different things. So I do have some videos that I want to create using these dies, and I will be back with more videos. So let's see what we can do here. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to take the file folder die out, and we may use some of the smaller dies to decorate and to embellish these, but for now, let's just start with the larger dies in each one. So for my file folder, I'm trying to decide which side I want to use, because I could have it going, you know, sideways like this or up and down. And so in each page I may do differently. One page I may have it, you know, going up and down like this, and other page I have ideas how I'm going to use them. We'll see when we start adding them to the journal. So I think I do want to cut out, trying to see here what I want to have. I'm not sure if I want this side or this one. I think I may just use the striped side as the front of my folder. So I'm just going to run these through my Sizzix Big Shot switch. And this is, I have a video showing you how I use my Sizzix Big Shot switch, and I have a video explaining it. So I received it for my birthday from my husband, and I absolutely love it. I used to have the Sizzix Big Shot, the one that you manually turn, and that one's still great. I kept that one. I'll probably use it for some different things as well. But this one, I love how it's automatic. It's electric, and you just run your dies through, and it's, you know, it's automatic when it does it. You don't have to do any of the turning. So I'm just going to add a little piece of tape here, and then I'm going to trim this off so that I can run it through my machine. And I am putting it towards the top because there are some small dies, like I said before, in all of these packs, and we could use those small dies down here at the bottom. Now I do try to rotate my plates. You can see this one's bowing a bit, so I try to rotate my plates as I'm doing this so that we get that bow out some, but I've been using them a lot lately, and the bow is coming in that plate. But I think that's just how it is with these die cut machines. So here is our first little folder, and keep in mind when you do use, I didn't even mention this before, but when you use this washi tape, be sure to use washi tape that's easily to remove. I know some stick really well and some don't. Use the kind that doesn't stick well. If you've got some in your stash that really comes off the paper when you use it and you're not happy with it, you have to add glue to it, that's the one you want to use to hold your dies down, because they are not going to tear your paper. So they are good for that. Okay, so I'm going to cut one more out, and then we will see what else we can create with these. Okay, so those are fairly simple to cut out. So we have 3 of them here, 1 for each signature. And so I'm going to fold them. And so there are some embossed lines on here as well. So you have to pay attention to where your score lines are versus the embossed lines that, you know, are framing out the actual file folder. And I don't think with this paper I'm going to be able to show you. You can't see, well, you can see the lines there. See, there's 3 lines, and you have the embossed one in the score line in the middle, and then the embossed ones on each side. So you want to be sure to fold on the score line. And these are really easy. So we will decorate these up as we're adding them to the journal. So I'm just going to lay these aside, and let's cut one of the other larger items out. So let's go ahead and cut out some of these little coin envelopes. We're going to look through our scraps and see which sheets these will fit on. So I'm going to go ahead and take the die out so I can just lay the die on the scraps and see how big a piece I need for each one. Here's a scrap that I think would work. Will it fit right inside that 6-inch piece there? I think it would. So you could get one there and one there. That's on the back side of these. Okay, so that's what I will do. I'm going to cut one out of each one of these 6-inch squares that came. So I think I'll just cut on that line there so I can separate them out, because it's better to set this in the middle of the plate and run it through, I believe, than to just have it over on the edges. So I'm just going to cut these out. I hope I didn't cut that one too small. I think it will still fit on here. It's going to be fairly fitting, but I think I can get it. Yes, that's going to work. So we'll cut out these, and then we'll come back and put those together. Okay, so for these envelopes, we need to pull out our dies here. And I did go ahead and make another one yesterday when I was testing this out. And so I need to find the die pack. Here it is. So we need to go ahead and cut out this piece to use to make it a envelope where we can wrap our string around. So let's pull out our little bitty dies here. And so you have a lot of little dies in here, you can see. So this one is actually the size to make a little journaling card to go inside there. And then this one makes the little circles that can make for your closure. So that's what we need to cut out. So I'm going to look and see what scraps I have and what's going to go with this. This one may actually be a good scrap for this one's closure, because I like that purple with it. So let's hold that aside. And then for this one, it's a little different colors. Do I want purple on it? Or I could use the scrap here. Let's just pull in all of our scraps. There's a reason why I kept all of these little bitty scraps, because I had no idea that I was going to do this, use these dies, but this will come in handy. So I try to hold on to the scraps till I finish the project, because you never know when you're going to need some. That might look good with that one. Let's see, I'm just going through here. This one's got some more black to it. That one will look good. I think I'm going to do that one. It's kind of a dark purple with some black mixed in. I'll make my little circles with that one, I do believe. Just to make sure there's nothing else I want to use. So it's getting ready to cut those out, but while I'm cutting those out, why don't I go ahead and cut out the little journaling cards. So let's just go through our scraps and see what pieces are large enough. I do have my tags mixed in here too that I made. I've just got it all together so that I can, you know, use it for decorating the journal. Here is one where I tested one of the journaling cards on, and so I think this would be a great way to make another journaling card, because I really think this is a good area to write on, or you could add a picture to it. But let's see, if I did this one this way, and they could do one sideways, it would fit on there just fine. And then we can decorate them up. So let's go ahead and do these, and we'll have all of our pieces. Well, we'll have to make some envelopes, and then we're going to have all of our pieces so we can start decorating. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut out 4 circles for each one so I can double up these circles. And yesterday I made one, and this is how I created it, and just with my closure here. And I will have to tell you, I filmed this yesterday, but the video yesterday that I created, I felt like I was all over the place, so I'm trying to redo this day, because I knew that I needed, yesterday I only made one of each thing, but I knew I needed to come back and make these, so I thought maybe I should retry that so it's a little bit more organized and more understandable, because yesterday I was just crafting, and I was afraid that that may be too long of a video. But I did go ahead and make a journaling card, and so I just cut it out just like I did of the same paper, but I added the little girl to it. So we're going to do something similar with these, so we'll have 3 of each. And so sometimes that happens though. Sometimes when you film, you're just not happy with it, and I wasn't happy with yesterday's. I had a lot of fun crafting, but I figured you guys probably would be very bored with that video. So hopefully this one's a little better, who knows. It's early in the morning, and I'm just wanting to craft and hang out while I craft. So hopefully you will get some sort of inspiration or ideas from this video. Hopefully it won't be a total fail for you to watch. So you just fold these up. You have your score lines on there. They come with the score lines. You just fold them up. It's so simple. And that's what it makes it so quick to make decorations for your journal and pockets for your journal. So I'm just trying to say, I think I want it like that. I think you can do it either way. I just try to go by, what I do is I go by the actual, I think I made my glue too far over, but I go by the actual look of the envelope as to which direction I want to do it, the paper. So I don't think that there's really a right or wrong side to glue down. So you just glue your sides and then your bottom, and you have yourself a little envelope. That is super quick and simple. And then here's the top flap. So for it, let me press it down. I want to have the closure like I did for this one. So what I did was I glued 2 of these circles together. They may have a proper name, but I don't remember it this morning. So we're just going to glue them together. And that'll make them thicker. I think it gives them a little bit more, makes them a little bit sturdier so they don't rip. And I filled my glue bottle, and the glue is a lot runnier than normal. I don't know if it's the humidity here, or, which my house is not hot. It is very hot outdoors, but my house is pretty cool inside, so I'm thinking, but it has been humid this week, so I don't know if that affects your glue or not, but mine is just really runny. But it's still holding just fine. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I got glue on. A little messy this morning. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't being messy, so at least we know it's me. There we go. And I have some, like for this one, these purple brads, these little closures, paper holders, paper closures. I'm not sure what brads is what I normally call them. I think I'm going to use purple on this one, but on this one, do I want to use purple or black? I do have some black ones as well. I've got one laying on my desk here. I'll have to pull out the purple ones. Let me see about the black. Well, I can't get a hold of it. So this is what the black would look like. I like that. So I have two of the black already out. So let me grab those. And then let me grab two purple ones. And these colored brads, I really don't know where to tell you to look for those. I've had those for years and years, and I bought them on clearance somewhere, so I wouldn't be able to tell you where to find them now. So I think I was going to use the lighter purple on this one, and I'm just going to follow the line down the middle here as to where I'm going to put it. So I'm just going to put just a pencil mark right there, and I'm just going to punch a little hole. I have this little hole punch here. It's itty bitty, and I did buy it years ago from Stampin' Up, but I don't think it exists anymore. I don't think they sell those anymore. So but I figured just use what I have. You could use if you don't have one, it's just as easy to use your awl. Back then when I bought it, I wasn't into sewing journals. I was making, cards and mini albums, and so I didn't even know about these awls and punching holes with those. So you could easily punch your hole with the awl. So then these brads, I'm sure you've used these at school or in the office. If you've worked in an office, you just press these open. That's what I'm going to do, and that holds it there. And so where is my other one? Oh, it's floated up here somewhere. So I think I'll put it down here, about right in there. So I've got to see how far though will my punch go. I may have to use my awl and put something down there to protect the other side. Let's just see here. It actually goes quite a way, so I think I'll just use it. And then I'll just punch it right there. And I'm just going to, very simple, just stick these in again. And there may be some more fancy ways to do this, and I think this is perfect for this little envelope. I don't think I need to go to any more, do anything more complicated than what I'm doing to create the closure. So this is just how I do it. I'm sure there's other ways. But I thought with these dies, this was just a fast, simple little way to make a closure. The hardest part for me is when I'm reaching down this envelope, getting those little pieces to spread out. But there we go, we got them. Okay, that lines up pretty good. May not be perfect, but it's close. So I have this purple string here, so I'm just going to tie it underneath this one. Wrap it around and tie it so that it doesn't come loose. I'm just going to tie it once. I think that's all it needs. Oops, I may have tied it. There we go. Then we'll cut this string off and we'll wrap it around to close it. So then we're just going to wrap here, back around. There we go. I'll leave this hanging until I decide how short I want it. And we have our little journaling card we can put in it. Now, what kind of decoration do we want to put on our journaling card to go in it? That one I have to think about. Let's take a look at our scraps here. Pull the tags out of it. Let me lay those aside. I also sewed around this. It was I forget what I was going to use it for, but then I decided not to use it, so let me hold that aside. Okay, so I had to pause for a second. I got a phone call, and I can't remember what I was saying, but I think we're looking for decorations to go on the journaling cards. And I'm not seeing any in my scraps, so let me think here. We could either, I do have these from Tim Holtz. I don't know what's in it now, and I got a lot of things from him here. But I have this packet, and let's see what's what's in it. It may be something we can use from this. And I will link to this. This is at the Rubber Buggy as well. And I don't know if I mentioned, this is my design team project this week for the Rubber Buggy. So, but I will have to tell you, some of these things that I'm using today, these dies, some of the products were sent to me by the Rubber Buggy, but then some of these I purchased myself because I love all these items that the Rubber Buggy has. And also, I love ordering from the Rubber Buggy because I know that it's a small company. It's a, like just a small business. So you're supporting, instead of, a big corporation or something, you're actually supporting an individual. And individuals, several people. But I love that it is a small business, and I like supporting small business because, as you know, I have a small business myself. And so I like supporting others who have a small business. So I did order some of these items from them with my own money, and then some were sent to me by the Rubber Buggy. So I just wanted to be open about that. These are blue. They're not going to match, so that's not going to go either. I kind of, me, I always want a butterfly or something on it. I do like how the little girl looked on the other one, but since I've cut up most of the stuff in this kit, I'm not really sure what I want to add now. I could, let me set this aside. I could add these. I could cut this out and add one of these and then that one, but I don't know that I want to cut this sheet up. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to pull out, wait a minute, we didn't finish that envelope, and have I lost my little purple? Oh, I've doubled those already, okay. Oh, Lordy, it's too early, I think, for me. Okay, so since I don't want to cut into that paper, I could pull out some fussy cuts from last week or the week before when I was using the Craft-A-Clock paper. There are tons of dragonflies and different things in that. I may just pull those out. So here is that paper pack. That's the good thing about having several fussy cut packs on hand, is you can mix and match paper packs. I'm not sure that these are going to go. Let me see if I have anything already fussy cut out in this package. Sometimes I do have extras left over, but I may have used them all last time. It's looking like I did. So I know when I used this to make that folio, this little folio here. And I do have a video I can show you where I use that. These are lighter colors, and I'm not sure how it's going to go with this, but let's take and see how, I don't want to cut through that. Let's try this. Let's see how the little dragonflies look on it, as well as maybe the little bee. I'm going to cut those out, and then we'll test those and see. So I love how the dragonflies look on these little journaling cards, and that's what I love about having these fussy cut sets here, like you can buy from like Cutterpillar, and I think Stamperia may have some, Craft-A-Clock, and the Lemoncraft. So I have the Lemoncraft ones, I have some Cutterpillar ones, and I also have the Craft-A-Clock that I'm using here. So I loved having those on hand. So a lot of them have 6x6s or 6x12s with your little fussy cuts. And it's good because you can, when you're looking for some little image to put on something, a lot of times it will go with other papers. So once I also put those on, I remembered that I should use my dies because I want to find ways to use these dies. And so if you look in this one, this die set, you get all of these dies here. Now that looks like in the image here that it's one die, but it's not. What it is, it's just a bunch of little dies, each with a number on it. So what I did was, I want to show you how I did this because these are itty bitty numbers and they're really hard to glue. So instead of even trying to glue them, I took my score tape, the score tape here, and I wish I had some wider score tape so I know what the next thing I'm going to be ordering from the Rubber Buggy. I'm going to see if they have anything wider than this. So you take your score tape, and then I just took some black cardstock and I put my score tape on here. And since my score tape was not wide enough. This is one of the smaller ones. I just run it along the edge here. Just run it along here, and then just double it up. Oops, I twisted that up. But you just want to double it up. I just line it up against it, and then I just double it the width. So I would make sure that I got my entire number and letters covered with the score tape. So once you do that, you just turn it over. You cut your, dies out, your numbers out, and then you can just stick them on here. So when you get them off, I did use my little pick tool, and I'm looking around for it so I can show you. So this comes with this tool here, and I will link to that if they're still in the shop. I know at one point we had them in the shop, and I'll link to that if it's still in the shop. But this little pick tool here, you use it to, push your little die cuts out. But I just used it to pick it up and to stick it on there because these were so tiny. My hands can't handle things like that. And I didn't have any tweezers. Tweezers would be great for that as well. So I just wanted to show you the ones I used. Now I used this one that says number 2831. I just put the 283 on it. And then this one was the 365. And I think, I used all the numbers on that one. And they seem to be sticking really good. So that is good to do, and that's something to keep in mind, is just put the sticky tape on first before you die cut it, because if you try to add glue to these numbers, I guess you could, but it's going to, for me, it's going to be a mess. So let me put these little dies up before I lose them. Oh, and I also was going to use this one to cut them out and just have a frame piece, and I can't find it now, but you could just have the numbers cut out and not glue them on like this, but I decided to go with this. I also brought out, while I was off camera, it's been a very busy morning, so I know this video may seem all over the place, but I've had a lot of distractions this morning. I got up to film early because I thought that it would be quiet and no distractions, but honestly it has been more distractions than normal. So I went ahead, let me put these in here. I'll just lay this aside and show you. So what I did while I was off camera is, if you remember when we made these, we had our little, well, this one I left that way because I haven't finished it, so I can show you. So we put our little brads in, and you've got this metal piece showing. I used the die here. There's a little round die in this set, and so I used it. Let me make sure I can show you here what it looks like. I used it to cut out some circles from scrap paper. Now I am saving every little bitty bit of scrap paper right now because I don't have a lot left from this paper pack, and I'm using it for things like this. And it's perfect for that because you're not wasting paper, you're using up your scraps. And so what I did is I made the circles, and then I just covered these brads on these two, and I need to make one more to cover that brad. But I thought that was good so that you don't have that brad, in the way when you are opening and closing it and pull things in and out. Now I don't want to mix up my dies. I want them to be in the right set, so I'm going to take real quick and put them back in the sets they go in. I am absolutely loving these dies. I knew when I ordered them, when I saw that they were coming out, I knew that these were going to be awesome for journals and that you could do so much with them. And I do have some ideas. Like I said before, I have some little projects I want to make with them, so that will be coming up. But these are fun. I'm really loving to use these to decorate my journal. So the last set we haven't pulled out yet, and I haven't even used this die set at all, so this will be my first time using it, is the, what's this one called? I forget. Oops. Well, I don't remember which one it's called, but it is the one with the envelope. You can see with the little envelope, and it comes with a little journaling card, and then it comes with all these. And this one, what I love about it too is, I don't know if you can see, it comes with 2 different stamps. You've got your rectangle stamp, your square stamp, and then there's a little circle here. And I have some stamps of Tim Holtz that will go with this really well too. I'm not going to be using those today, but I do have those. I'm just taking a look here. So let's cut out some envelopes because we can use those as pockets in our journal as well. So let me lay all of this aside. So our paper pack is getting very small. We are about to use up all of our paper. I've been saving this one in case I would want to use these images somewhere in the journal. So I'm going to wait before I cut this one up. So I've been saving it out. This is a Tim Holtz thing I pulled out earlier trying to see if it would work with this. here's our little scraps, but I think I'm gonna need a big one if we're gonna do our envelope first. I'll tell you what, let's pull the envelope out, the envelope die out, and let's see where it would fit best. So I'm thinking, let's take a look at this piece here. We are definitely gonna smash this paper pack, meaning we are gonna use the whole thing up for this journal. And that's exciting. I love being able to use up a paper pack for something like this. This is very pretty. What's the back side look like? So I could go back and forth. I could have some of them be purple and then some of them with this pink. So now I know I'm not gonna be able to, in order to get a bunch out of this, I'm going to have to lay this out just right. Just looking here. Let's try first just getting one. Let me measure that real quick and see how wide that takes. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if I cut that down the middle, I should be able to get one out of each 6-inch square. And I will give an update on this little machine, the Cutterpillar Crop. I am still loving it. It is a little noisy when I'm on camera cutting like that, but I actually love it. I think it cuts all the paper really good. And one thing is this guard, the whole thing, the whole reason I changed paper cut trimmers was because of the guard. My other one, you know, the blade was covered, but there was this piece that snaps so you can open the blade and change it out. Well, sometimes I wasn't looking and it would pop open and then I would reach down and I cut myself several times. So I decided it was time for a new one, and that's when I went looking, and when I saw this one that the blade was protected and it had such, the video about it was so good and it had such good reviews that I decided to give it a try, and I do like this one. It's a little heavier, I mean like bigger, but I love it. So I know someone had asked me before an update on it, and so I thought I would just give a little update in case it was you and you are watching. Let's see here, or if you've just been curious, you may have saw that video where I did the unboxing of it, and you may be curious how it's turned out. So now I'm uncertain. I'm going to assume, since I haven't cut this one yet, that the Sizzix being, I know you can't see that, being right side up would be the top, but I have no idea if that's the top or bottom. So we're gonna cut it like this, and we're gonna hope for the best, because I have not cut this one out yet. And just like with all the other items that I've been cutting, I want to go ahead and cut 3 of these out. So I'm going to pull that out of the way and tear that out of the way. So I want to cut 3 out. I probably should fold this one up first and see. So let's fold it real quick. So we just fold on the score lines. They have score lines, and once again they have like embossed lines just to frame out and add to the envelope. So let's see. I'm thinking that this is the bottom. It is, and so I did have it right. When I put it in the machine, I had it correct. Just looking, so when you do yours, as long as you, excuse me, as long as you make sure that the Sizzix word is right side up, you know, right direction, then your envelope will be correct, because mine is, and I like that. So that is envelope number 1. So let's go ahead and cut out 2 more. So we'll have 1 for each signature. And I know I'm going to have to bring out another piece of paper, I'm pretty certain. So we have our envelopes. I have 3 envelopes here, 1 for each signature. And so now I'm thinking we should go ahead and make our journal card for each envelope. Our journaling card, I guess I said journal card, I meant journaling card for each envelope. But I'm looking here, and I really like this piece of paper, so I'm thinking, I don't know how much was left of the other one, nothing big enough. Okay, so I'm thinking we could make some just out of this section here. So I like that bottom one there, so I'll start with the bottom one, and then I'll just work my way up, and we'll see what we come out with. Okay, so we have all of our little envelopes cut out, and they're just so simple to put together, so we'll fold those up and glue them. I think I got, yeah, that's the right direction. And then I cut out my journaling cards, which I think they're very pretty journaling cards. This paper's gorgeous, so I think anything you make out of it's going to be gorgeous. So here we go. So we have all these, and then we'll start gluing. probably need to find my tool here and just press, because this is thick cardstock, which is good because it'll hold up well. This cardstock's a little bit different from other cardstock that I work with at other brands. This one's got more of a shiny finish to it, but I like this paper. So we just need to glue them shut, which is super simple. So I know this isn't a tutorial, I'm just doing a process video because these dies make everything so simple that you really don't need anyone showing you how to do it, I'm sure. But unless you're new to crafting and new to dies, this might be helpful to see how to do this, but I'm just trying to show you some ideas I had for these. So I'm just going to fold all these up and do them the same. So I do have one more thing I want to create before we start decorating the journal. So yesterday when I was trying to make the video of this, and I just felt like that video went on too long and was all over the place, which this one that's my week. I think I'm all over the place this week. I used this die right here, and that's what this one is. I think this is called the Specimen dies. But I used this little Specimen card die here, and I created two little Specimen dies. One, I put the dragonfly behind it that was on one of the papers in the pack. And then this one, I remembered that I had some dried flowers that I had gotten in a box of, I'd been thrifting, and I got a box of candle making stuff, and there was dried flowers in it. So I thought the purple flowers that were in it would be perfect for this, and so I just remembered yesterday when I was doing this that I had those. So I'm going to make this one with you as well. So we're going to make another one of these so we have it for our third signature. So let's create these, and then we'll start decorating our journal up. So we've got to get our die out. I laid this piece of paper here. I saw it laying on the side. I think it's too small. Like I said, save all your scraps while we're working on this because we're going to really smash this paper pack. We're going to use the whole thing up, all the bits and pieces. Or at least I think I am, because we are getting very low. So I want to save the full sheets because we don't need a full sheet to create these. Let's look at what scraps we have that would fit this. I think you could get one right there. What's the back side look like? You could also get one out of this strip we've cut off. I think that'd be perfect. Let's do one out of that. I like that. Let's just see what else we have first, though. What would this one look like if we had it purple and then the flowers were on a blue background? I want to try that. It may turn out horrible, but I want to try it. So let's just scoot all this to the side. I'm going to need my die, though. And after this make and after this video, I have got to get this craft room under control. I've got to do a big cleaning, my whole house though. I've got to do a big cleaning of my house and my craft room so that hopefully I can find stuff. I'm really struggling finding things at the moment. Uh-oh, is that gonna be, let's tape it down, flip it over, and let's see if this piece is wide enough. It may not be wide enough. I was hoping to use it. I love turquoise, and there is some turquoise in the journal. Even with all this purple, there's a little bit of turquoise, so that would be cool to add this. We'll tape it down in the center there, and we shall see if, let's just tape it right here, flip it over and see if any shows. It does, so it's not going to work for this piece. So we'll have to rethink it. So let's find the piece that it was working on. This one was wide enough. So let's do it on this one. I do want it kind of be the right direction though. Okay. Do it here. Just tape it down. Okay, so hopefully that cut out. Yes, it did. So we have that little card that comes out of the center, and I'm saving these cards because I think these are adorable little journaling cards, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to use them. So now let's take and get the tape off of this one. Be sure to get the tape off immediately. My older one, I left the tape, oops, and I hear I'm saying that and I've done it again. I forgot and left the tape on my plate, and as you run it through back and forth, you see how it cuts your plate up? Well, it just cut the tape into those grooves and I couldn't get it out. It doesn't harm it, it just makes it look really bad. So I'm trying with this one not to do that. If the tape did get stuck right there, let me get that. There we go. So it got down in that little groove. So for this one, you do have quite a few score lines. Well, you have score line, and then you have quite a few embossed lines. And I don't know if you can see this on camera. Maybe you can. Just pay attention and do that one in the center there, where you're supposed to fold on. Be careful not to fold on your embossed lines, because then it's not going to line up correctly. So if you fold it over and it doesn't line up correctly, it's not the die, it's actually that you folded on the wrong little line. So you do want to pay attention to that. I was looking for my scoring tool, but I have, once again, like I said, I've got to clean this room up. There is stuff everywhere. So there, see the dark purple there, my flowers are not going to show up. So what I did yesterday, and I'll show you now, is these are like, I don't know what these flowers are. This was in just that, so I guess you put flowers in candles. I didn't know that. I've never made candles, so I bought that, when I was thrifting, I just bought that candle making kit because it's had so much in the box that I thought I'd give it a try. And then when I got home, I found these flower heads in it as well. There were several different colors. This is just one kind of flower that was in it. I'm gonna open this up and see if I can figure out which one I want to pull off. So I was just pulling little pieces off yesterday to glue because it's not flat enough. If I use this whole flower head, it's not flat and it won't lay flat. So I'm just pulling a few little skinny pieces off. There we go. That might be enough. Okay. So I'm going to put a piece of acetate in here. That's what I did with that one yesterday. But I want a background piece. So the one yesterday, you can see I used some of the leftover file folder pieces. And I could do that today, but I'm trying to see what I have. So I want to use this turquoise piece. I think it would look good back here, and then just laying those little flower heads on it. So I like that. So I'm going to cut it down, and let me just see here what height. I think I'm just going to cut it, just kind of eyeball it. Can't find my big scissors, so I'm having to use my fussy cut scissors to do it. I think that'll be perfect. So I'm just going to glue that down, and then we will add our flowers. Glue that to the inside here. And then I'm just going to glue the flowers down. So I'm going to kind of eyeball the center here and put some glue and lay my flower on it. This glue does dry clear, so it should be okay if it shows through a little bit. Just add another dab of glue there for another flower head, a little flowered petal. And then I love these purple. I never really used purple, and I've had so much fun with this journal using the purple, and then it just worked out perfect when I found these purple flowers. So it wasn't even planned. I love when things come together like that, when it's not even planned, but it works out like that. So now I'm going to put a piece of acetate here, but instead of acetate, this is part of the packaging that these came in. So I take them out of their plastic packaging, and because it has such good folders, and I just put them in this folder. So I'm just going to use a piece from the packaging on these as well instead of acetate. So I'm just going to cut it down to fit that spot there. So I'm going to cut it down to fit in this window here. So I'm trying to see. I think I'll cut off this folded part, and then I'll just cut a square out. And I really wish I could find my good scissors for this, but we'll just use these. Just kind of eyeballing where I need to cut. Since I bought several of these, I have several of this package, and so might as well use it up, right? Okay, and so then let's just see right in here. And we can always trim it down. I'm just making it a little too big, and then I'll trim it down. This will work just as good as the acetate. And we're not wasting anything, are we? Okay, so let me just trim here. And I think it's going to need to be trimmed down a little bit more once I get it glued down, but I want to glue it down first to make sure I have enough. That may be perfect. So I'm just going to add some glue around the edges here. And, oh my goodness, do you guys see it? The plastic piece. I laid it down. Right there it is. It's clear. It's hard to see. I know you probably can't see it either. I couldn't see it either. So that was a problem. Okay, so now let's just glue it in. And then we'll just glue it shut. So I'm just going to add some glue along my edges. And fold it shut. And then for this one, I want to do like I did for the other ones. I'm going to show you what I did. I added little eyelets to it. And I have some purple eyelets. So I thought they were perfect for this. And I know it's on the dark background, so let me see if I can show you here the purple eyelets. And I'm going to put 4 in, and I'll reach and get the 4th one, the other 2 in just a second. But I'm going to show you how I punch the hole. So I'm using the littlest hole on here because these are little bitty eyelets. And so there's already holes on this die. But what I'm doing is just going, and I'm not totally centered over those, because if I centered over them, it would cut off the edge. So I'm going over to the side from them, because if you don't, it's going to cut through the edge, and you don't want to cut through the edge of your little card. So just be sure to look through the hole and see where you're trimming, so you're punching your hole, so you make sure you don't cut into that or cut your edge off. So I'm having to clean it out each time because I'm having to be able to see. So I just go over to the side a little bit. So then we'll put these in. I'll do the first 2 with you, and then I'll go grab the other 2. I think the eyelets are hard to put in, but these small ones are pretty simple to put in. They're not like the bigger ones that's harder to squeeze. So there's those 2, and I'll grab the other 2 now. Okay, so there's our little specimen card with the eyelets, and I like that. And then I'll just ink around it with some dark ink. I'm using black with these. And so I think this is quite a few little things that we've made today, and it has went longer than I had anticipated. So what I think we'll do is I'll come back another day, one day this week. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day. And what we will do is we will start adding all of this to your journal, because I didn't really show you how I want to use these in my journal. So when I come back, we'll add all this to the journal and finish decorating the journal up with some other items as well. Let me show you everything we have created today. These are things we created another time. The tags are things we created another time, and I can link to that video below as well. So far today we have our envelopes. We have all 3 of those. And then we have our journaling cards inside of those envelopes. And then we have our coin envelopes, the little smaller ones. And then we have all of our folders. And so these, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use those next time. And then we have our 3 specimen windows. So we have made quite a few things today. So I think that if the video gets too long, I have trouble uploading it. So I think I'm going to stop there, and then I'll come back in another video and we will decorate this journal up, because I think that's all we got left to do is just decorate this journal up, and we will be finished with it. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I hope that somewhere along the way in this video you have gotten inspiration on things you would like to create for your journals, or projects you would just like to create. You could make these not just for journals. These could be for Happy Mail if you wanted to make some of these up and send little stickers or different things to your friends in it. That would be cool too. And to send, ephemera pieces or even a little note in it, I think would be cute. I think these would be cute to send a little note in too. And I think these are really a good size to just add to a gift, a little gift card. So I hope that there's some inspiration somewhere in this video for you, and I hope that you will come back and see how I add all this to the journal. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.